Hey there, kids. Folks call me the Curious Fox because I'm curious about stories. Today's story is about exploring a cave. Why don't you have a seat and I'll tell you all about it. Under the green grass lays a cave, and many wish to know what's inside of it. Some talk about hearing music or voices coming from within the cave. One young boy heard all the fuss, and he didn't wait for the summer to end without knowing what was inside of it. The young boy set his alarm to go off at 5 a.m. He wanted to leave the house before his family was awake. So he gathered a pack and put a flashlight, batteries, a hunting knife, and a first aid kit in case he fell down a hole. The young boy headed into the damp morning air. From all the talk, he figured that the cave was in the forest by a little stream. The young boy pulled out a compass to see where he was. The arrow told him that he was northeast, and indeed in the heart of the forest. He looked around and heard the sound of running water, as well as a tapping sound. Walking to the sound of the water, he felt a few drops fall on his head. He looked up and saw a little man carrying a bucket. From the stream? The stream must be underground, the boy thought. So he kept an eye on the little man, and he saw that he ran into the opening of the cave. The boy tried to fit himself inside, but the opening was too small. Looking at the opening, he said aloud, "How do I get inside here?" A rumble sounded, and the cave's small opening came apart so he could fit inside. As he stepped inside the cave, the opening closed up tight. He looked around. It was dark, so he pulled out his flashlight. It helped him get through the dark. Walking around, something reflected. He looked closer, and he saw gold dust flickering under the light. The young boy took out his knife and picked at the dust. It came off in his hand, but then melted and fused with his skin. The boy waited for something to happen, but nothing did. He felt fine, so he walked into the heart of the cave. He saw, in the light, a group of little houses built into the cave. He reached up to touch one of the houses, but he felt a twinge in his body, and then in one quick motion, he was the size of a weed. Looking around, he saw little men and women coming out of the houses to see what all the fuss was about. The young boy yelled at them. They were his family and friends from years ago that he thought moved away. An older man came up to him and saw that on his hand had gold dust melted into his skin. The boy saw his skin tone was the same shade of that gold dust. The man nodded and said, "Welcome to your new home, son. No one can ever leave this cave. Once the gold dust is melted onto you, you've become part of the cave." Oh, that was kind of spooky. It's tempting to reach out and touch shiny stuff, but you have to be on the lookout for magic. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.